right, Abusia Minchi or Namisan so a more by my channel so Abusia for her. That's why a bear media GH Abusia. Anytime in the Bishia or a YouTube, a year FD, Casses to be Abusiana, a Ghana, a politics, Munsama Abusia, a Chagu, away social media so an Abusia, a DB Ebersom, or a channel so. That's why a bear media GH Abusia, and then send me about Bonting, a Yansam Kutua. A year former a year MPP members, see Wakakoka, a year UP, the say or a UP member, yes, UP member, a year United, a year party, about Bonting, about Bedin Como, Channing Comumua, Abusia, Nasa or Channing Semua, near air cost within MPP, near air cost within MPP, currently near air cost, I say MPP for a Bochenku, normally or money, Eddie Chiremu, a year. Yes.
Let me start off with you. With all we are learning about Ken Ofori this time around, and I want us to take it from a political implication angle. I mean, it does appear that with more information that comes out in relation to Ken Ofori, one would have to ask the question that what does this continued controversy mean for the political party that he belongs to? Ken Ofori virtually for more than 7 years. In fact, it's just the last few months that his role changed and he was made a Minister of State, some finance sort of designation, international trade at the presidency. He was basically the one responsible for the economy under the NPP as a political party. I mean, we've not heard the party as an official organ speak directly to it. With all that is happening and the controversy, does it have any political implications for the party? That is one. And number two, what should be the party's approach at this point in time?
Well, thank you once again. You know, for Ken Ofori issue always coming up day in and day out, I think that the state's institutions were not able to manage this in such a way that the procedure in which we can get Ken Ofori to come to the country to have some questions to answer was not well, should I use the word in quotes, organized or structured. Because if the state institutions that collaborated with how they can bring him to Ghana, or as the issue cropped up and the discussion and how I think things could have been well more better than this time. That is why we have all this confusion here and there. But we believe it's not too late as the state, the Attorney General is trying to, and also the Foreign Ministry. These are the two ministries that need to come together to ensure that all the right process, because it's somewhat country that they also have their issues, they also have their laws. So if we want to bring someone, they also have to go through their legal process and other things before they can let the person, because they also have their citizens here. And if anything happens to, they also have issues in their home country. The two countries need to have a way or a system to get them back for some questions to be answered. So in all, I think that we were not proactive enough to able to have these things in place for him to be brought back at the earliest time than what we are going through. I think as we learn from you, from your end, realize that he has a lot of issues in terms of immigration. So maybe after the immigration, and as it was stated, that they also have some corruption charges. But, you know, for the MPP party, it casts a snare in a way that because the GRA and the SML issue is in court, and he is one of the people that is him and the 7 acts, or maybe there are 7. So I will find it very difficult that the court cases will proceed well without him, because it seems that everything ended up with him in terms of that contract. So it is necessary for him to come for us to unravel any kind of corruption charges that has been left against him, and in also the party need to appeal, or maybe to also have a way. I don't know, maybe they may want to do it behind closed doors. You know, these are politics. And in politics, if you come out as a party, your opponent will see it in a different way. So I think the MPP is trying to tread cautiously so that it will not be seen as a way that Kenufurata is being judged already. Let's see, that is how, because you can't begrudge the NDC coming out with statement if the MPP come up certain issues. So in the political aspect, I think the MPP is trying to be cautious so that it will not be seen as a political game for the ruling government and also the MPP. That is why. But maybe they have to work behind closed doors to appeal to ensure that, because we have a lot of people of this party, that is the previous government, in court, and it's seen as branded as a party that people are corrupt on. At the end of the day, I think the court would come up with a judgment. But if you have about more than 5 or 6 cases in the court, and it presupposes that the party is very, very careful so that it will not be branded as corrupt party members, most of them. And I think maybe we can also say that the NDC also will use it as a strategy in their campaign.
All right. Thank you very much, Doc. I'll have you hold on. I'll come back to you shortly. Let me come quickly to Ebo in the studio now. And Ebo, I mean, Doc makes the point about potentially the MPP wanting to be cautious, but this is a party that 31st January, they'll be organizing the flag bearer race. The party's communicators are publicly raising issues about government's oral. They are questioning government's oral, that the oral is not bringing results, suggesting that they did better with the fight against corruption and all of that. Here's an individual that was key in your governance of the country. He's out there. All these controversial matters are happening. And the party has not officially said anything about that. You agree that they should do it behind the scenes, or they should be speaking publicly?
Well, I think the MPP has been irresponsible relative to the issue of Kenufurata's, if you like, run away. I think the party, instead of organizing those useless press conferences, should rather organize a press conference and publicly tell Ghanaians that they are calling on Kenufurata to come to Ghana, or they are making supporting government effort to bring the man home to answer questions. Whether they like it or not, Ken represents MPP. I mean, he was the finance minister. I mean, he was the fulcrum around around whom, if you like, everything revolved. And so if the man has run away and is refusing to come, and as a political party, you know that this has potential effects on the image of your party, what do? Do you distance yourself and keep quiet and organize press conferences on unnecessary issues? I think they've been irresponsible. And this is going to, you see, whether they like it or not, this is going to be a very serious blot on the integrity of the party for a very long time. Because, I mean, to think about it, that we were given a finance minister.
All right, so for Ofori and when Guswa Ocean, a bus also unsubscribe, not like it. No, I said you may am from so inside to me, Akabi, and don't forget to click on notification bell. No, say any update they will drop beyond one so inside to me, Akabi. So for Ofori no money for it in simple good. I am going to go to in some money for editor
who had a lot of issues before even he was appointed. The party itself ignored those issues. Here I'm talking about the Obotan issue, which is a well-known issue in Ghana. The party ignored that issue and appointed him and backed him to become finance minister. The man, after destroying our economy with the help of Bawumia and Addison, after destroying banks, you know the banks he collapsed. I've told you I'm from Cape Coast. If you go to Cape Coast, where the data bank, the office data bank occupies, used to be GT Bank office. After GT Bank, so UT Bank was collapsed. Data Bank occupied that office. Thank you if you go to Cape Coast. So this man, after destroying our economy, collapsing individual banks, and for the first time, giving us haircuts that we did not call for, haircuts that we don't deserve, that led to many people dying. He decides, I'm leaving this country. I don't want to come back to this country to face the issue of accountability. And the party has kept quiet all this while. That is irresponsibility. And so, I'm not surprised, because recently, one of them, who used to be former MP for Sekendi, Ejepamesa, he was questioning us as to whether we have any law in Ghana that requires somebody who has served this country to account for his stewardship. Clearly, this is a mentality of a political party, not a mentality of Ejepamesa. So if they were stealing like never before, if after stealing they are running out of the country and don't want to come back, then perhaps it is because of the mentality that in this country there's no law that requires that after you've served your country, you have to account for your stewardship. So, yes, we are going to always make reference to this. And my position is clear, and even at the risk of sounding repetitive, I'm saying that if MPP, if Ofori is refusing to come to Ghana, so long as he remains abroad, his political party, MPP, the one that brought him, should remain in opposition.
I mean, last week, I remember when we had, or the previous week, we had a similar conversation. I made a point about the circumstances surrounding his departure, how he had informed everyone, the health issues that we all know about, and whether we are not being too hard on him. Now, with all what we are learning now about he entering, overstaying his visa, and issues that have come up so far, what we've learned so far, does that lend credence to the position that you took, and you still stand by it, that you believe that he is determined or has taken a personal decision that he's not coming back to Ghana to face the law here?
Of course, he knows what he's done. He knows what he's done. He knows he can't face the law and succeed, given what he's done. That is why when he was leaving, the man was running away, but he couldn't have written in the letter, "I'm running away." Let's get that one straight. That health issue, and the man couldn't have written, "Please, I'm running away." So he said he was going out indefinitely, right? So it's a way of telling you that I'm not going to come back.
Okay.
So let's not play the ostrich.
All right.
The man ran away. And another person who has been also irresponsible is the former president, the brother of